Hey guys, this is George with Firehouse Music, and today I want to talk to you about the power of the octave and single octave shapes. One of the most difficult things, I think, for the guitar when you're first learning is having to memorize all the patterns. So you have things like scale patterns, right? And arpeggio patterns that encompass the whole fretboard, and then when you move them, right, you have to learn a brand new pattern. And depending on what system of organization you use, whether it's the cage system or the 3-note per string system or the zone system, whichever system you are using, you're having to learn X number of fingerings. So that gets it to where soloing and improvisation has this very steep learning curve. But today, hopefully, this concept will help flatten out some of that learning curve. So what I want to talk about is, and I will give you guys one concrete example. I'll talk about the concept in general, and then I'll give you one concrete example specifically to arpeggios, and then maybe we'll do like a little study or something at the end. It depends on how long we go. The concept is simple. So you guys already know, if you watch the interval video, you know about octaves, and an octave can happen this way. It's like a power chord, so 2 frets over, 2 strings over. And then you have the one on the second string that adds an additional fret. So then you have 2 strings over and 3 frets over. And yes, I know there's an octave that goes in the opposite way, where you move, 3 strings over and 4 strings back. And the same thing happens the other way. But we're not going to look at those octaves for this specific video. We're just going to look at the ones that move, let's say, forward from the low fret to the high fret. So then we're just going to have 2 fingerings. We have the ones that don't involve the second string, which are 2 strings over, 2 frets over. And then you have the ones that involve the second string, which are going to be, again, 2 strings over, but now 3 frets over. Okay, so that's what the octaves are. And we're going to use those positions to our advantage, so we can expand on simple fingerings that we learn in one octave. Okay, you can do this with scales, you can do this with anything, with licks. Dweezil Zappa has a pretty awesome instructional video where he really breaks down the pentatonic scale licks into one octave motif. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Dweezil is great at what he does. But just looking at the arpeggios, right? So the arpeggios, I've been talking about chords for over a week now, so I figured I'd just stick to arpeggios. We have, let's look at triads. The simplest one, 3 notes, right? So we have major triad. I'm playing this G major, so I have middle finger on the 6th string, fret 3, index finger on the 5th string, fret 2, and pinky on the 5th string, fret 5. Okay? And then I can move that, I can jump an octave and play the same shape. Now on the 4th string, right? 2 strings over, 2 frets over. I'm jumping that amount, that distance, right? So I'm going from here. And then I can jump now to the next octave. So again, now because we have the second string involved, we're going to jump 2 strings over, but 3 frets over. So our whole arpeggio looks like this now. And coming back, it's the same thing. Okay? And then you can do the same thing for minor. Minor triads, you get this. Right, so I'm playing the same chord, so it's G minor now. So it'd be 3, 6 both on the 6th string, and then 5 on the 5th string. And apply the same formula. I just jump up an octave. Okay? And then let's look at diminished triads as well. So the diminished triad is almost the same as the minor, but the 5th is flat. So now instead of we're gonna go. So we go 3, 6 on the 6th, 4 on the 5th. And then I'll apply the same formula. See, and you have 3 octave arpeggios very easily. And then finally we have our augmented triad. We're probably not going to be using that one very much, but you know, for the sake of being a completionist, let's go ahead and learn that one as well. That's like the major triad, except that our 5th is augmented, so we're going to stretch a little. So we're going to go 3, 2, instead of 5, we're going to go to 6. Okay, and then I apply the same formula that I did before, jump in the octaves. And I have a 3 octave augmented triad arpeggio on the guitar. So, yeah, this is going to be too long for me to give you guys the study as well. So for now, just learn those shapes, right? So learn the shapes in one position. Don't worry about moving them yet. So learn major, minor, diminished, augmented. Okay? And then we're going to move those up an octave and so on. I already demonstrated that at the beginning of the video. Don't need to do it again. And then, once you're comfortable with those, then we can begin to put them together into chord progressions. And that's when stuff gets really fun. You can come up with some pretty cool, almost like classical sounding guitar studies that are very fun to play with distortion and everything else. If you're into that kind of thing. And if not, then at least it's a map of the guitar as to where the good notes are for whatever chord you're trying to play. So that's going to be it for today. Practice that, learn it, and I will see you guys next time.